your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. This is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. And our top story, a Gering man has been arrested after an alleged cocaine-fueled rampage where he held a woman in a room at gunpoint. 25-year-old Dawson Reifschneider was taken into custody Friday afternoon and is facing charges including use of a firearm to commit a felony, terroristic threats, and first-degree false imprisonment. Court records say that Reifschneider was threatening to kill the woman and her ex throughout the 12-hour ordeal, and the victim said that he would not let her leave the room. A loaded 9mm handgun was retrieved from the home, and a substance that tested positive for cocaine was also located. He was arraigned on a total of 4 felony charges Monday afternoon in Scottsbluff County Court, and will be back in court later this month for his preliminary hearing. Well, a Wyoming man has died following injuries sustained in a Sunday morning motorcycle crash near Gering. Cody Thomas with the Nebraska State Patrol tells KNB News that troopers were called to the crash on Highway 71 north of the Highway 92 junction shortly before 9 a.m. Sunday. The preliminary investigation shows that the motorcycle failed to navigate a curve and left the roadway, rolling multiple times. The rider, 43-year-old David Tillman of Gillette, Wyoming, was pronounced deceased at the scene. Thomas says the crash remains under investigation. We'll have more news right after this.
Whether you're gardening, searching for the perfect vacation home, or planning your next travel destination, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisors, Jody Rosiska and Kevin Figg, get to know you, your passions, and your vision for the future, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
Life is crazy. Pain is stressful. How can anybody concentrate with these busy schedules? Now you can. This is Ben Moravec coming to you from Hydrozen, a float therapy business right here in Scottsbluff. I'm here today to let you know we now have memberships for $49 monthly. You can guarantee yourself at least 1 float per month. You know how floating keeps your muscles relaxed, your joints relieved, and your brain clear to think? Now you can float at a reduced rate each month. Inquire today at hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT. Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge.
Welcome back. The former Mitchell Chief of Police has filed an appeal with the Nebraska Court of Appeals on the issuance of a harassment protection order against a Gering woman. Dominic Peterson was found by Judge Randon Rowland to have displayed a knowing and willful course of conduct that threatened and intimidated the petitioner, and a formal protection order was granted on April 3rd following the July 2024 filing. Following the issuance of the protection order, Peterson was fired from the Mitchell Police Department for being unable to meet agency standards. The Nebraska Court of Appeals has accepted the case, but it is not currently scheduled to be reviewed. Records show Peterson and his attorney, William Madelung, have a deadline of June 9th to submit their brief to the appellate court. Well, the new pickleball courts by Westmore Park are one step closer to completion. The Scottsbluff City Council recently awarded an $85,000 bid to local firm Mark Chrisman Trucking for work around the courts. Parks and Recreation Director Matt Carpenter explained the scope of the work.
And then ADA ramp to the courts now that they're about 14 inches of upgrade. It also includes a sidewalk and patio area on the west side, which will include a covered structure as well. And then a expansion of the parking off the alleyway. And then a paving of 2 handicap spots in there as well. And then a sidewalk all the way to the courts.
Carpenter also explained that the final surfacing on the courts themselves won't happen until the concrete work around the area is complete. The nearly $400,000 project is being mainly paid for by using ARPA funding. And the lone animal shelter in the Twin Cities is doing pretty well overall. That's according to Scottsbluff City Councilman and Panhandle Humane Society liaison Scott Phillips. He says he sat down in the PHS April board meeting and their numbers were looking good.
They are in pretty good shape financially. They feel pretty good about everything. Their numbers have been good. The cats, they've had more strays or cats this year than they had last year. And the dogs, it's actually lower, so it's kind of flip-flopping there, but they're doing well on getting them adopted out. So they're doing well.
A total of 19 cats and 15 dogs were adopted in the month of April at the Panhandle Humane Society.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
Ellen Simmons for the Rural Radio Network. May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and the Nebraska Cancer Coalition is working to educate Nebraskans on the importance of skin cancer prevention. We're joined today by Dr. Charlie, the Dean of UNL Extension and a skin cancer survivor. Now, a key statistic or a fact that people may not know, having 5 or more sunburns doubles your likelihood of developing skin cancer, which is the most common cancer type. So, Dr. Charlie, tell us a little bit about your story and how you were diagnosed with skin cancer.
Well, thanks. How was I diagnosed? Well, just a little background. I grew up on a farm in southeast North Dakota. Back in the day, I spent an enormous amount of time outside, in the sun, in the weather, in the elements. I was just thinking, prepping for this, that compared to probably my colleagues that grew up in towns or cities, I have about 30,000 extra hours of UV light exposure because the equipment we had back then didn't have tractor cabs or anything like that on them. You were out in the elements all day long and really didn't take care of skin like we should have back in the day. And so one of the things I noticed a little while ago is I had a spot on the bridge of my nose that if I rubbed it or scraped it, it might bleed a little bit. And I didn't think much about it. I knew to keep an eye on it. And that went on for almost a year. And I thought, I should, next time I go to the doctor, I should get it checked. And so I had the exam and he didn't say anything. And so I said, what about this? And he looks at my nose and he said, well, would you like that checked out? And I said, well, yeah. And so they sent me over to a dermatologist and they said, well, would you like it, you want to freeze it or you want to take a biopsy? And I said, well, what would you do? What would you recommend? They said, well, if you were my wife, I would recommend that you actually have a biopsy to find out and send it in. And sure enough, I had squamous cell carcinoma, which can spread. And so I went in and they did actually, it's called a Mohs procedure. And I'm really thankful that I had really good physicians, a dermatologist, a plastic surgeon. There was quite a big hole in my face. And so they did a great job. But now that if you come up and meet Dr. Charlie, if you look at his nose, you can see that he's actually had surgery done. They did a nice job, but you can't hide it completely. And so, yeah. It's lots of exposure, and the whole thing about sunburn 5 times. Oh my gosh, and maybe put a 0 behind that. And so I have naturally a tan easily, but you can override that. And so thankfully I'm a survivor, but my advice is, hey, one, protect yourself, and two, if you see anything, get it checked out right away.
All right. Well, as you alluded to, many farmers and ranchers spend long hours outdoors, so often with significant sun exposure. If you could give any advice to farmers and ranchers about protecting themselves from skin cancer based on your own experience, what would that be?
Well, number one, don't be a worshiper of the sun. We're all tough, rugged individuals. I have changed from a baseball hat to a wide-brimmed Tilly. It's a type of hat. I'm not here to endorse a certain brand, but it has like a 3-inch brim all the way around. It really protects my face and ears and the back of my neck from that exposure. Two is, hey, put on sunblock. Your significant other probably is on you a little bit and says, hey, you should do something. You should put some sunblock on. Do it. Number one, it really helps you, and two, it can turn down the amount of conflict you can have in a relationship. It's really good for us as men to be out there, and women also who are in the sun, but really think about, it's not good to have so much exposure because bad things can happen. And again, I come back, thankfully, we did find this in time because it could have been a lot worse.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Well, again, the thing about skin cancer is they're almost all preventable. I know a young man in my past that developed melanoma, and that was a really sad outcome. And so really, this is something that we can take care of. Wear long sleeves, everything in moderation. Just really take care of yourself, because you only got one layer, one set of skin to wear. And, if we wear it out, things don't look pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. That is Dr. Charlie. And if you'd like to find more information, you can go to necancer.org/skin cancer. That's necancer.org/skin cancer. May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and the Nebraska Cancer Coalition is working to educate Nebraskans on the importance of skin cancer prevention. That was Dr. Charlie, Dean of UNL Extension and a skin cancer survivor himself. I'm Ellen Simmons for the Rural Radio Network.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit rbawyoming.com to book your free estimate.
Let's take a look at your community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, hundreds, if not thousands, made the trek out this past weekend to the Riverside Discovery Center to celebrate its 75th anniversary. Guests were treated to photos from the 1950s and 60s from the zoo's early years, which included a photo of a young boy feeding a deer when the attraction began as a drive-through zoo. Throughout the zoo, people were able to enjoy a wide variety of exhibits, including Raja the tiger splashing around in his pool, the chimpanzees monkeying around, and even getting up close and personal with some of the interactive animals, like a python. Live music filled the air with a DJ spinning tunes, while kids were able to cool off at the splash pad to kick off the summer season, while new zoo director Kai Hodgson sat at the dunk tank raising money for the zoo. Hodgson recently told KNB News that he and the zoo staff are working diligently to get the zoo reaccredited with the AZA and make the Riverside Discovery Center a premier destination. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.